Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about AWS databases. Okay, what are the database AWS will provide and different types of databases. Okay, we'll see this one. So Amazon RDS, okay, Relational Database Services. Okay, it is a fully managed SQL database service provided by the Amazon Web Services. Okay, so Amazon RDS supports an array of database engines to store and organize data and help with the database management tasks such as migration, backups, and everything. Okay. So basically, database means like organized collection of data, so that can be easily accessed and managed. Okay, you can organize the data into tables, rows, columns, and index, make it easy to find relevant information. Okay, so we have different types of databases, right? Like centralized database, distributed database, personal database, end user database, commercial database, okay, NoSQL database, operational database, and relational database. Okay, we will talk about relational databases. Okay, so when you go to Amazon, if you search with RDS, okay, see RDS relational database managed relational database services. Okay, if you click this one, so RDS supports different types of databases like Oracle, MySQL, Postgres. Okay, all these things. So before that, if you just wanted to some information about databases, okay, like if you click on RDS, okay, manage a relational database service, easily to set up, operate, and scale a relational database in the cloud. Okay, see, these are the benefits if you use RDS. Okay, Amazon RDS provides a cost efficient and a scalable relational database capacity while automating the time consuming administration tasks such as hardware provisioning, database setup, okay, patching, and backups. Okay, it is free. Focus on your application. You can give the fast performance and high availability, security, and compatibility. Okay, these are the benefits. Okay, easy to administrate, no need to manage the servers. Okay, everything it should be managed by AWS. So available and durable. Okay, it should be easily available because it having um, zones, right? So availability zones. Okay, and it should be secure. Okay, we have VPC. Okay, and highly scalable. Okay, and fast, and inexpensive. Okay, use cases, we can use web and mobile applications, mobile and online gaming. Okay, e-commerce applications. Okay, these are the things. Basically, AWS offers wide variety of choices. It's like relational, non-relational, cache, elastic, such as databases. Okay, RDS is a fully managed relational database in the cloud. It is easy to set up and operate, administrate RDS following engines. Okay, Amazon, Aurora, MySQL, Postgres, okay, MariaDB, Oracle. If you need anything like which is not provided in this engine, so you can create a EC2 instance. Suppose IBM DB2 is not provided by RDS, so that time you just need to create a EC2 instance and you can install that and you can manage. Okay, so you can create a database. Okay, for sample I'm showing you, like you can follow these things, standard, create, or easy to create. Okay, if you want to set the configuration options including one for availability, security, backups, you need to go to standard. If you want to easy to create, you just click on this one. It is recommended best practice for configuration. Some of the options can be changed after database is created. Okay, if you want, you can go with this option, but if you go to this one, it is everything like provided by security, backup, maintenance, everything. I'm going with easy to create. Okay, and these are the configuration options. See, if you go to info, you just need to click this one. So Amazon, like if I'm selecting MySQL, so this is this option. Okay, I'm selecting MySQL. So if you want, you can select any database like MariaDB, Postgres, Oracle, Microsoft SQL. Okay, depends DB size. Okay, if you want to select a DB size, okay, whether it is for production use or dev test or free tier. Okay, so if you have production 4 CPUs and 32 GB RAM, 500 GB. Okay, this is the cost. Okay, 1.146 USD dollars. Okay, if it is a free tier, this is demo, right? I'm just using for 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM. Okay, and the database instance identifier, you can give any name, like this is the name of your DB instance. Okay, this must be unique for all the DB instance owned by AWS account. Okay, I'm just giving this one, and username should be admin. If and if you want to generate auto generate password, you can use this auto generated password option, like manage security. Okay, security management, there is a service provided, and there if you can generate the tokens. Okay, you can give that one, otherwise you can provide a master password, your own password. Okay, I'm giving some dummy password. And if you want, you can use these default settings, otherwise just create a database. So once created database, it should be created one endpoint, like host name and the user ID and password. Okay, once that is everything ready, you just need to use the SQL workbench, and you can provide the URL and username password, and you are able to connect. So this will take some time. Okay, this will take to create. See, it is creating, it will take 5 to 10 minutes. It's initially created, right? Once this is ready, we go to actions. There should be something like read replica and the snapshots. Okay, it's like a backups, everything. Okay, these options will be provided. Okay, setup we have seen, and so once that is ready, right? So we using workbench, you can able to connect this one. Okay, RDS backups. RDS supports automated backups, which is performed once in a day as per the backup window. Okay, so apart from automated backup, it has also supported manual backup also. See, AWS will take daily backups on this database. If you want, you can take manual backups also. In case of failure, we can restore the database instance from the backup. Okay, RDS supports point in a time recovery, and the backups are stored in S3. See, all the most of the services backups, everything stored in S3 only. So whenever backup process is on, there should be a chance of performance issue. If we multiple AG deployment, it's enabled, there will be not performance issue at the time of backup. Okay. See, multiple AG means, like we have in our created database, like it should be created in the backend host, right? See, on it will created the host URL. So on that it will created two instances, but it will, as per ours, it should be only one. So it's like a primary and a standby, like secondary. If primary will works, secondary will fail, it will be pointing to primary. If primary will fail and standby is working, so it is pointing to directly um, this one, and the backup should be created on primary. Okay, this is so RDS multi-agent deployment. Okay, see, this feature will allow to set up two database instances that are primary and standby into different availability zones. Okay, the data replication on primary to standby applications synchronously. Whenever primary fails, the automatic failover to standby. As I said, right, same thing. So multi-agent for highly available. It is not for scalability. Like it is not increases the instances, like not like that, but the data should be highly available. This is the main. So it is not for scalability. So when it comes to auto scaling, so whenever it is required, it should be scaling up or scaling down, right? It's not like that here in the database. It should be highly available. Okay, it's not for scalable. Okay, with multi-agent there will not performance issue while taking backup, because backups are taken from standby. Okay, read replica. So I'll show you that option, different option. Still it is creating only. Okay, this instance is creating. Status is configured to enable monitoring. Okay, Once everything is done, so you just need to go here, or you can take snapshots and automated backups. Okay, this is the automated backups. Okay, and read replicas is designed for scaling your application. So read replica supports only selected queries. Data from master is asynchronously replicated to read replica. So your read replica can be same region across region. We can use a read replica for disaster recovery. We can promote read replica as a master, then it works insert and update, delete, select. uh, okay, select options. Event subscriptions. Okay, if you see here, there should be event subscription. See this one, this option will be event subscription. You need to create event subscription. Okay, we can subscribe different events occur in RDS, for example low storage, backup, failures. Okay, we can use this option. You can create an event, and you can post that, you can provide that one, and you can post the target groups. Okay, in target groups you just need to provide the source type. Okay, it should be security group or snapshot, anything. Okay, that is RDS. Okay, then IBM Aurora. Okay, it's Amazon own product. Okay, see, whenever if you go to databases, just now we selected, we created a MySQL engine, right? Same like if you want to create, okay, you can create Amazon Aurora. This is IBM own product. Okay, see, if you select and just click this info, Amazon Aurora is come up with like MySQL and Postgres. Okay, compatibility, enterprise class database. Okay, this is less than $1 per day. Okay, up to 5 times throughput of MySQL and 3 times throughput of PostSQL. Okay, PostgreSQL. Up to 64 GB auto scaling SSD storage. Okay, 6-way replication across the availability zones, 3 availability zones. Okay, up to 15 read replicas with 100 mil. Okay, replica lag. Okay, automated monitoring and failover less than 30 seconds. So this is the fast compared to MySQL and Postgres. Okay, whatever the functions it having like MySQL and Postgres. Okay, so both it come up with these things. Okay, and Amazon Aurora with MySQL, Amazon Aurora with PostgreSQL. Okay, you can provision and serverless. Okay, you can select this one, and the read replication failure. Okay, it will provide the versions. Okay, you just need to select the version, what version you need, and template it is for production or dev test. Okay, depends on your requirement. You just need to select this one. Okay, and the db2 cluster and admin and password you just need to create. DB instance classes. Okay, memory optimization or burstable classes. Okay, if you want, you just need to select this burstable class, include the classes. Okay, and availability. See this what multi AZ deployment. So if you selected this one, it will be created in two availability zones, like it can be created read replica and read node. Okay, recommended for scalability. Okay, you just, if you want, you can just selected this one, it should be created primary and secondary. Okay, and VPC, you just need to selected VPC or your default VPC. Okay, subnet groups, just need to selected subnet groups. Okay, and this should be publicly accessible. If you want, yes, you can, yes, otherwise no. Okay, VPC security group, existing security group if you have anything, otherwise create new security group. Okay, this having some features like if you want any additional configuration, you just need to select by port is 33606. Okay, 3306 MySQL port number, and additional configuration you just need to database options. Okay, data cluster performance, everything. Okay, you just need, and if you want to generate the log export, audit log, error log, generate log. Okay, general log, okay, slow queriness, you just need to select based on the option, okay. And maintenance, okay, maintenance window, if you have any selected window or no preferences, okay. Enable detection protection, okay. You just need to provide the details and you just need to create the database, same like it will get you host name, username and password. Using workbench, you just need to connect the database, okay. You just only creation of database is your duty, like maintenance everything developer will take care of that one, okay. Amazon Aurora is Amazon's own product, okay. As I said, these are the features it should be provided. Amazon Aurora capacity types, it should be provisioned, okay. You can provision the size and time, manage it, okay. So it should be serverless. So if you are specify minimum and maximum amount of resources needed, and Aurora scales the capacity based on the data load, okay. This is a good option, intermediate and upgraded workloads, okay. Next, one more database is Redshift, okay. Amazon Redshift, fast, simple and cost effective data warehousing, okay. So it is fully managed data warehouse in AWS, okay. Data warehouse is like a huge data, so data warehouse is used to analytics and reporting, okay. Data warehouses usually deal with more data. So Redshift is also a relational database, okay. Redshift does not support any read replica. So AWS RTS Redshift cluster, okay. You can create cluster up to 1 to 32, see, 32 nodes, okay. Amazon Redshift, fast, simple and cost effective data warehouse that can be extended queries to your data, like, okay. Amazon Redshift is this one. So you just need to create a cluster, okay. It clicks Amazon Redshift, okay. These are the benefits and features: faster performance, cost effective for your data lake, okay. And easy to set up and deploy, scalable, scale quickly to meet your needs, and secure, okay. Use cases: accelerate all your analytics workloads, unify data warehouse and data lake, okay. Modernization on your premises data warehouse, okay. So just need to go here and just create database, and these are the options which should be provided, okay. It should just need to identify that one, whether it is free. If it is production configuration, you just need to um, perform that one, otherwise free tail you just need to use. And it should be calculated and configuration summary, okay. And the data configuration, it should be dev and port number, okay. It should be provided. And once that is done, create a cluster, okay. Once cluster is ready, then you have to configure that one, okay. We can create a cluster 1 to 32 nodes, okay. The storage capacity is proportional to the number of nodes, okay. That is, if you need more storage, then you need to add more nodes, okay. It has to support for snapshot is nothing but a backup, right, okay. Backups, we can automate snapshot to cross regions. Automated cross region snapshot copy for Amazon Redshift, okay. Redshift does not BP massive parallel processing, okay, for processing your huge amount of data parallel, okay. These are the one of the database. And you just need to go Elastic Cache also, okay. There is one more database, Elastic Cache, see, it's a memory cache. See, basically if you perform anything, first it will get data and it will store in your this, right. Same like Elastic Cache and web service that makes it easier to launch, manage and scale your distributed memory, okay. So launch a cluster and connect and manage. These are the links which you need to follow if you want to get started now. You just need to create, okay. Redis and memory cache, you just need to collect memory cache, okay. Redis or this one, okay. It should be Redis is the memory data structure used in the database cache and message broker. Okay, elastic cache is reduce of multi-agent and auto failover and enhancement. Memory cache is high performance and distributed memory object caching system intended for user snipping, dynamic and web applications. Choose your location, Amazon Cloud or on premises. Okay, so once that is done, okay, you just need to provide the memcacher settings. Okay, you just need to give these details and create that one. See, elastic cache means data stored in memory. Okay, cache servers are used to improve the performance of your applications. Okay, AWS cache support two engines. One is Redis and Memcached. Elastic Cache is fully managed by AWS. Okay, it support clustering. Okay, there is one more DB like DynamoDB. See DynamoDB. See DynamoDB is a fast and flexible SQL database service for all the applications that needed to consistency. So single digit millisecond latency at any scale. Okay, it is flexible data model and reliable performance make it easy great fit for mobile and web gaming and ad tech, IoT, Internet of Things. Okay, many other applications. Okay, if you just need to create data, create a table and use that one. Okay, create tables and add query and items, monitor that one. Just create table. Before that, just need to, if you want to get started guide, just take this one. Okay, how to create and just need to follow the instructions and you just need to create it that one. So just create a table and table name with primary keys. Okay, if you want to add shortcuts, it should be JSON format only. Okay, this data and it should be available. The Dynamo Amazon DynamoDB is fast and flexible, no SQL database service, all super consistent. Single smell this code. Okay, it's a flexible data model replication, make it easy, great fit to mobile. Okay, it scales to an exist any extent. Okay, it supports dynamic schema. DynamoDB global table. This feature is helps to set up DynamoDB table replica across regions. Okay, it may help your application used globally. Using global table, we can improve the performance of DynamoDB table. Okay, so these are the basic information about databases which are provided by the AWS. Okay, that's all about. Thank you.